It's increasingly common to see works that are adaptations from literature. And in the world of K-dramas, it's no different. Many of your favorite K-dramas were previously published as manhwas or webtoons. In Western terms, something we know as comic books or graphic novels, a very popular genre in Asia that attracts thousands of fans and film adaptations. That's why in today's video, we've selected romance K-dramas, or with hints of romance that came to our screens. And the best part, all available on Viki. Before jumping into the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, hype up the video, and comment if you've already watched any of these or if you've added any to your list. Also comment what kind of suggestions, lists, and content you want to see here. Without further ado, let's get to our list. 30. Love cells. Ma Dae-chung, an unemployed man with his love cells paralyzed, seeks help from Navi, a magical cat in human form who specializes in guiding people through romantic challenges. Desperate to reactivate his love life after 9 years without a relationship, Dae-chung dreams of winning over his celebrity crush, Seo-rin, with Navi's supernatural help. It's a romantic comedy with fantasy touches, adapted from Kim Young-hyun's popular webtoon, which explores in a fun way a man's journey in search of love with a magical twist. Despite being from 2014, the cast is well known to most K-drama fans, though in their younger versions. The drama has a rating of 8.3 and has a second season. 29. Lucky Romance. Shimbo Nui, an extremely superstitious woman, desperately seeks to save her sister, who's in a coma. After consulting a fortune teller, she discovers that her only hope is to sleep with a man born in 1986, the year of the tiger. Her target is Ji Soo-ho, CEO of a game development company, while Gary Choi, a tennis player who once had feelings for her, moves into the apartment next door. In her unusual mission to save her sister, Bo Nui finds herself caught up in an unexpected romance. Lucky Romance is a 2016 South Korean romantic comedy series based on a comic by Kim Dal-nim. Rated 9.3, the drama promises to be intriguing and funny from the first episode. 28. The Matchmakers. In the story, we have Gaetong, a simple, humble, and lonely woman whose only friend is the peasant Lee Soo, who has been in love with her for a long time. One day, Lee Soo decides to seek help from Joseon's best matchmaker to unite with his beloved Ma Hoon, the leader of the most famous and respected matchmaking agency in the city, where he shares his journey of uniting young couples with 2 other men, forming the trio of the famous flower team. On the fateful wedding day, Lee Soo disappears after being kidnapped and forced to assume the throne as king, leaving Gaetong helpless. Lee Soo, even as king, doesn't forget Gaetong and reappears shortly after his coronation in secret, asking Ma Hoon to care for and transform the girl into a lady he can marry and make queen. But by this time, Ma Hoon has already fallen in love with her and is worried about her safety, knowing how dangerous the palace men are. As the plot advances, Gaetong starts working as a matchmaker at the agency and grows closer to Ma Hoon. The story grows with each episode, becoming increasingly compelling. Rated 9.3, the drama has a fantastic cast and a plot that will hook you from beginning to end. Super binge-worthy series. 27. Dare to Love Me. Shin Yun-bok dreams of becoming a webtoon writer, but he lives in a community stuck in time that still strictly follows the conservative Confucian values of the Joseon dynasty, which lasted from 1392 to 1910. In an act of desperation, he decides to leave the village. Along his journey to see the world, Shin crosses paths with a frustrated teacher, Kim Hongdo. Could this encounter awaken great ambitions in both of them? And maybe love too? The drama was based on the webtoon Treat Me Carelessly by Sun Woo. Rated 8.7. It's a drama with great actors, an original story, and adorable moments, but it fails to deliver much of the romance's potential.
26. My Girlfriend is the Man.
College students Yoonjae and Ji-eun were about to take their first romantic trip when the unthinkable happens. Overnight, a mysterious family trait causes Ji-eun to transform into a man. Now, Ji-hoon must convince Yoonjae that he's still the same person. Although Yoonjae is suspicious and worried at first, he eventually realizes that Ji-hoon is telling the truth. While Yoonjae and Ji-eun try to deal with the situation, popular student Min-ju decides it's time to follow her heart and go after Yoonjae in Ji-yoon's absence. Now, Ji-hoon must find a way to return to normal before losing his relationship forever. This drama was based on the webcomic My Girlfriend is the Man by Mastar. Rated 9.1, it's a drama with a strange premise but incredibly captivating. It explores themes of identity, love, and friendship in a light and interesting way, showing that what really matters is the feeling, not gender. Fun, thoughtful, and with a different premise that keeps you hooked every episode. 25. Love Revolution. Gong Ju-young, a 17-year-old high school student, falls in love with Wang Ja-rim, a cold and reserved girl. Despite her initial indifference, Ju-young's persistent pursuit gradually wins Ja-rim's heart. His best friend, Lee Kyung-woo, and Ja-rim's friend, Oh Ah-ram, may be the catalyst for this budding relationship. This 2020 Viki original South Korean drama is based on Lee Young-ka's popular webtoon and is rated 9.3. Personally, I found the supporting characters more captivating than the protagonists themselves. But the premise is engaging and stands out with the woman being that typical, cold, and calculating persona we love to see in male leads. Here, it's the man who pursues and loves more. Worth checking out. 24. Wedding Impossible. Na Ae-jung gets in over her head when her longtime friend Lee Do-han asks for her help. Unable to refuse, the struggling actress ends up agreeing to an arranged marriage to keep Do-han's secret from his authoritarian family. However, when Do-han's younger brother, Lee Ji-han, refuses to accept the engagement, her life is on the brink of disaster. With Ji-han determined to sabotage her marriage, it's only a matter of time before the truth comes out. This 2024 romantic comedy series was adapted from the webtoon Wedding Impossible and has a rating of 9 on Viki. Funny and full of gorgeous men, the series delivers breathtaking kisses. But I confess that from the middle to the end, I thought it fell apart, like gum when it loses its flavor. 23. Moon in the Day. Despite being very popular, Han Jun-oh is a star, infected by an inferiority complex, who fights daily against his insecurities to keep up appearances in front of fans. When Jun-oh is involved in a near-fatal accident, he wakes up possessed by the spirit of Du-ha, who seeks revenge against his wife, reincarnated as Kang Yong-hwa, a determined firefighter who saved Jun-oh from the accident and became his bodyguard. Now, Jun-oh must make a decision and fight his own insecurities to free himself from this evil spirit before it takes over his body forever. This 2023 South Korean drama series was based on Hae-yoom's webtoon and has a rating of 9.2. Intense and thrilling, this drama transcends time and celebrates the power of eternal love. With moving performances, an impeccable soundtrack, and a story of devotion that resonates deeply, it's a poetic and breathtaking experience. But I warn you, prepare tissues. 22. Meow, the Secret Boy. The love-hate relationship of graphic designer Sol Ah with cats takes an unexpected turn when she ends up having to take care of her crush's girlfriend's cat, Sergei. However, Sergei is no ordinary cat. He can transform into a human, now named Hongjo. Sola, mistaking Hongjo for her landlord's son, continues living with him without knowing about Hongjo's double life as her cat. But things get complicated when Hongjo starts falling for Sola. This 2020 South Korean drama series was based on a webtoon by Go-ra. Rated 8.7 out of 10, it's an adorable and unjustly underrated drama. Mixing fantasy, humor, and emotion, it delivers a warm story about love, abandonment, and new beginnings. 21. The Tale of Nokdu. After being attacked by a group of female assassins, young swordsman Jeon Nokdu sets out to find one of his attackers. However, the search leads him to a village of widows. To avoid being discovered, Nokdu disguises himself as a woman while looking for clues. But one of the residents, Dong Dongju, discovers Nokdu's secret identity. However, she also has a secret. She escaped from an ill-fated courtesan apprenticeship. Now, they must keep each other's identity secret, but sharing this secret may bring them closer and eventually lead them to fall in love. This 2019 South Korean drama series was based on the successful webtoon Nokdujeon by Hyejin Yang, and it's one of the most underrated dramas in the world. I personally loved watching it and would give it a 10 just because the protagonist is gorgeous, adorable, and a man with a capital M. Rated 9.4 stars. I recommend it with my eyes closed. 20. Not Others. High school student Kim Hoon-mi's life changed forever when she gave birth to her daughter. Decades later, her daughter Jin-hee has grown up, and Eun-mi has become a physical therapist. The two are constantly fighting, as Jin-hee still lives at home. Working as a police officer, she also constantly clashes with police chief Yoon Jae-won. But Eun-mi's life becomes even more complicated when she meets the mysterious and shy doctor Park Jin-hong. With so many differences between them, few things can restore the bond of affection between mother and daughter. This 2023 romantic comedy drama was based on the webtoon Strangers by Young Rong. With a rating of 9, this drama is engaging and different, showing a mother-daughter relationship close in age in a realistic and fun way. Despite some dragging scenes, the determined and questioning personality of the protagonist brings relatable and interesting moments, exploring justice, maturity, and consequences in a captivating way. 19. My ID Is Gangnam Beauty. Once a victim of bullying because of her appearance, Kang Mi-rae undergoes drastic plastic surgery, but starts facing new challenges in college when people ridicule her for having altered her appearance. When she reconnects with Do Kyung-suk, who values inner beauty more than appearance, Mi-rae finds herself caught between external judgment and internal growth. When Kyung-suk defends her against hostile labels and superficial comments, Mi-rae begins to regain her confidence and realizes that true beauty is who you are inside, and begins to feel that she and Kyung-suk may become more than just friends. This 2018 Korean drama was adapted from the webtoon My ID Is Gangnam Beauty by Gi. Rated 9.4, it's a must-watch if you haven't seen it yet. The plot is deep, goes far beyond appearance, addressing prejudice, bullying, fear, and insecurity in a sensitive way. The relationship between the protagonists shows how they help each other overcome emotional barriers and grow, proving that beauty doesn't define character or happiness. An engaging story with valuable messages about acceptance and self-confidence. 18. The Girl Who Sees Smells. The sole survivor of a family massacre, Choi Eun-seol loses her memory but gains a bizarre ability to see smells. Renamed Oh Cho-rim by her new adoptive father, she teams up with Detective Choi Moo-gok, who lost his sister in the same case, and since then, his sense of smell. He wants to catch the killer, but the lack of senses gets in the way. Cho-rim's gift becomes the duo's greatest asset, following invisible clues in pursuit of a ghost. But the closer they get, the more their intertwined paths unravel, revealing dangerous secrets. Mysterious, romantic, and super fun. A drama that breaks away from cliches, grabbing your attention from start to finish. It features a charming and fun couple, free from fights and breakups, hilarious friends who guarantee lots of laughs, and a villain so captivating you might even root for them. Far from being tiring, it's a super light experience. "17. Unlock the Boss." Kim's son, Ju, CEO of a renowned tech company, is brutally murdered by an unknown criminal. His spirit, for some inexplicable reason, gets trapped in his own smartphone until Park In-sung, an unemployed recent graduate, finds the device. Determined to solve his murder, Son Ju proposes a generous reward to In-sung for helping him. In-sung hesitantly accepts and takes on the CEO position, working alongside his skeptical secretary, Young Se-yeon. Together, they discreetly investigate the circumstances of Sun Ju's death, aiming to discover the truth and achieve justice. Based on the webtoon Unlock the Boss by Park Seong-hyun, this is a 2022 South Korean comedy and mystery series with an original and engaging premise that creatively mixes mystery, technology, and emotion. The story hooks from the start, and the characters have great development, with emphasis on the main trio. Although the ending seems rushed and some events sound forced, the plot is solid and the ending satisfies, especially with the human and hopeful touch of the final moments. A fun and intelligent production, deserving the 9.2 rating. "16. Clean with Passion for Now." Jang Seon-gyeol, CEO of a cleaning company with acute misophobia, meets Gil Oh-sol, a laid-back and messy employee who has gone through various temp jobs. Despite his obsession with cleanliness and her casual style, always wearing athletic clothes, the two begin to challenge each other's perspectives. As Oh-sol helps Seon-gyeol confront his irrational fear of germs, an unexpected romance blossoms between this unlikely pair. Their relationship gradually transforms Seon-gyeol's rigid worldview and helps Oh-sol find stability in her chaotic life. This drama is fun, has absurd chemistry between the leads, and still manages to touch on important topics, like germophobia, in a light and sensitive way. It's the kind of drama that makes you laugh, sigh, and finish the episode with a smile on your face. Seriously, it's really worth watching. 15. The Heavenly Idol. Chaos ensues when Lembury, the high priest of a kingdom from another world, is transported to modern-day South Korea. After swapping souls with Woo Yeon-woo, leader of the failed K-pop group Wild Animal, Lembury is lost until he sees a light at the end of the tunnel when Yeon-woo's biggest fan, Kim Dal, comes on the scene to help. As the new manager of Wild Animal, Kim Dal not only helps Yeon-woo, but also changes the fate of the entire group. But Lembury wasn't the only one who traveled from the spirit realm. When a dark force threatens to destroy everything, Lembury and Kim Dal will have to find a way to save the day. This is the kind of drama for those who want something light, fun, and with a touch of fantasy without having to think too much. The story is deliciously crazy. A high priest from another dimension ends up landing on Earth and needs to pass himself off as a K-pop idol. And it's precisely this crazy mix that makes the drama so different. It even addresses serious themes like depression and abuse, but in a very light, almost symbolic way. The script is simple, sometimes even cheesy. Still, it's a pleasant drama to watch, with humor, fantasy, and that afternoon movie vibe that warms the heart. Perfect for those who just want to relax and have fun with something different. 14. Brave Citizen. Former boxing champion, So Seaman now works as a high school teacher. Despite frequent cases of bullying among students, Seaman avoids intervening to avoid creating confusion for fear of compromising her chances of being hired as a tenured teacher. However, one day, Han Soo-gang takes his bullying too far and Seaman decides to act. Wearing a cat mask, she begins protecting students against bullying while trying not to be discovered. Now, Seaman will have to watch her steps to ensure students will be safe and that her identity will remain a secret. This 2023 Korean film was adapted from the webtoon Brave Citizen, and unfortunately, it's not available on Viki for all regions, but you can find it with a Google search. "13. Cinderella at 2 a.m. Responsible for caring for her younger brother alone, Ha Yoon-seo has always had to give her all. Now, she works as a marketing manager at a credit card company, but her life takes a turn when she discovers that her boyfriend, Seo Ju-won, is the heir to the family that owns the company. When Ju-won's mother discovers who her son's girlfriend is, she offers Yoon-seo money to end the relationship, and Yoon-seo accepts. However, Ju-won is determined to win her back, and nothing can stop him from following his heart. Now, the two will have to face various obstacles to have their fairy tale-worthy love. Cinderella at 2 a.m. is a 2024 South Korean romantic drama adapted from the webtoon of the same name by Algom. This drama surprised me positively. Although the story starts heavy, with the protagonist almost giving up on the relationship and accepting the money without question, the narrative develops engagingly, showing an exemplary brother, loyal and concerned about his younger brother's well-being, and even the cruel mother finding her own happiness. The protagonist finally overcomes the hostile past and conquers what she deserves, including a solid and respectful romance, building the family she always dreamed of. The ending is a down-to-earth fairy tale, with everyone happy and fulfilled, conveying the strength of love and respect. Despite some episodes seeming dragged out, especially in the protagonist's decision about the relationship, the drama, with a rating of 9.3, delivers a satisfying and exciting romantic story. "12. Imitation. Lee Ma-ha is an aspiring K-pop star who accidentally injures a member of a famous group called Shax, which ends up triggering a feud with Kwon Ryuk. However, their paths cross again when they're cast in a dramatic series, where tensions rise and love is in the air. As Ma-ha struggles to prove her worth and achieve her dreams, Kwon Ryuk's resentment and the protective stance of his childhood friend create a whirlwind of emotions and rivalries. Now, Ma-ha will have another chance to prove her worth, but with increasingly greater challenges, she'll have to surpass herself if she ever wants to reach her goals. This 2021 South Korean drama, adapted from a famous webcomic by Park Kyung-ran, is rated 9.4 and surprises everyone from the start. The pace is fast, without dragging, and despite having many idol actors, the performances are really good, bringing emotion convincingly. The sadder scenes genuinely touch you, unlike other teen dramas that end up being caricatures. Overall, it's engaging, makes you feel for real, and leaves you wanting to watch the next episode immediately. "11. A Love Song for Illusion. The troubled crown prince, Sajo Hyun, has a dark secret. He has a charming alter ego, but full of flaws, named Ok-hee, who works in an unassuming shop downtown. But chaos is about to be unleashed when the prince meets Yeon-wol, a woman from a royal family that lost its prestige and is seeking revenge against the king. However, when she takes on the mission to kill him, she ends up falling into a trap, loses her memory, and becomes the prince's concubine. Amid conflicting feelings and remnants of a past, she'll have to decide between following her revenge or her heart. The plot, set in the Goryeo dynasty, mixes fantasy and historical drama engagingly, exploring the internal struggle of a prince with dual personality and his development throughout the plot. The performances by Park Ji-hoon and Hong Ye-ji are convincing, conveying emotion and depth, and the supporting characters add charm and sentimentalism to the story. Despite some unnecessary moments to stretch the series, the ending is well constructed, satisfying, and coherent, making this drama an original and memorable production with talented young actors and an engaging narrative. This 2024 South Korean drama series was based on a webtoon by Van Zion and has a rating of 9.1. 10. The Witch. Lee Dong-jin is a highly sought-after data analyst who uses his sharp perceptive skills to conduct research. However, there's one thing he's never been able to figure out: why bad things always seem to happen to people around his former classmate and old crush, Park Mi-jung. After the strange deaths of her father and several male classmates, Mi-jung came to be called a witch and distanced herself from society, believing she's cursed. A decade later, Dongjin and Mi-jung reunite, and now Dongjin is determined to unravel the mysteries behind this curse once and for all, even risking his own life to free Mi-jung. This drama was adapted from the webtoon The Witch by Kang-ful. This is a series with a super engaging premise, mixing supernatural mystery and romance in a visually impressive way. The initial script hooks, the protagonists have potential, and the production, with lighting, soundtrack, and cinematography, creates a unique atmosphere. On the other hand, the chemistry between the protagonists is limited due to little time together. Some subplots are underdeveloped, and the pace drops at certain moments, making the experience less impactful in the end. Even so, it's an interesting drama with strong aesthetics and concept, ideal for those seeking a different story. 9. Again, My Life. Kim Hee-woo, Lee Joon-gi, came from humble origins and became a recognized public prosecutor. However, tragedy strikes when he's investigating a politician and is mysteriously murdered. However, instead of dying, he wakes up as his younger self, a college student with all his future memories intact. Determined to discover the truth behind his murder, he restarts his academic journey. Along the way, he meets Kim Ji-eun, the youngest and super smart daughter of a powerful business family, and they begin investigating together. However, when the journey for truth leads them straight into a dark conspiracy, they need to find a way out before it's too late. This 2022 South Korean drama series was based on a web novel by Lee Hae-nal and has a rating of 9.4. This series is sensational, with well-choreographed action, electrifying soundtrack, and an impeccable cast that brings to life captivating characters full of charisma. It's an engaging, fun, and exciting production that hooks from beginning to end and still leaves very pertinent reflections on ethics and morality. 8. Perfect Marriage Revenge. Even having been rejected and betrayed by a family that never loved her, Han Yi-ju naively tries to see the best in people. However, after a terrible accident caused by her mother, Yi-ju finds herself transported back in time, and, realizing the chance she has to change her destiny, she will team up with tycoon Seo Eun-duguk to take revenge on those who harmed her, and will try to conquer the life she always dreamed of. Adapted from the webtoon The Essence of a Perfect Marriage, this is a 2023 South Korean drama directed with an excellent rating of 9.6. This drama is one of those that deserves more than 10 stars, with an excellent cast and an engaging story that hooks from beginning to end. Jung Yoo-min shines as the protagonist, bringing innocence and strength in just the right measure, while Sung-hoon proves convincing as the love interest, creating gradual and captivating chemistry. The plot combines twists, family intrigues, and revenge in a well-written way, without monotonous moments, balancing tension, drama, and romance engagingly. It's a production that makes you want to rewatch, precisely because of how it consistently builds characters and narrative. 7. Reborn Rich. After faithfully serving the Jin family and Soon-young group for years, Yoon Hyun-woo gets caught up in a succession battle and is killed as collateral damage. Miraculously, fate gives him a chance for revenge when he discovers he's been brought back in time in the body of Jin Do-jun, the youngest grandson of Jin Young-cheol, CEO of Soon-young Group. Using his new identity and knowledge of the future, Doojun plans to take control of Sunyang Group to find his killers and execute his revenge. This 2022 South Korean drama series was based on the webtoon Reborn Rich by San Kyung. Rated 9.5, this series promises to hook you and get you addicted from start to finish. It's worth noting that despite having romantic elements, the story doesn't focus on that and might not please you if you're looking for kisses and romantic distractions. But don't worry, there are kisses and a light, slow burn romance. 6. At a distance, spring is green. Yo-jun, the privileged son of a wealthy family, is a freshman economics student who has everything he could want except someone he can call a friend. When he needs to do a group project with Nam Soo-hyun, a sensible and straight-A senior, he sees an opportunity to change that and make a friend. Despite Soo-hyun's initial skepticism, Jun's persistent efforts eventually pay off. However, their budding friendship is tested when a girl, Kim So-bin, comes between them. This 2021 South Korean drama series was based on a webtoon by Jin Young and is rated 9.4. The plot addresses the difficulties of youth, insecurities, lack of affection, family trauma, and overcoming challenges, exploring each character's growth in a realistic and moving way. It's a drama that makes you reflect on empathy, love, and maturity, with a satisfying ending and characters who evolve throughout the story. Definitely worth watching, 10 out of 10. 5. My roommate is a Gumiho. For the past 999 years, posing as Professor Shin Woo-yeo, Jang Ki-young, a Gumiho has been collecting human energy in a bead in an attempt to one day become human. But his plans go awry when student Lee Dam, Hyeri, accidentally swallows it. Now, with no hope of ever becoming human and almost killing Dam, Woo-yeo suggests they live together until they find a solution. In the midst of this temporary arrangement, the two must live with each other and deal with the feelings that arise from this closeness. This 2021 South Korean drama series was based on a webtoon by Na. It's rated 9.6 and is a drama that hooks you from beginning to end, with careful production, memorable characters, and fun and emotional moments, making it totally recommendable. 4. Extraordinary You. High school student Yoon Dan-oh suffers from memory blackouts until she discovers she's a character in a webtoon. Worse, the author gave her a tragic fate, with a fiancé who hates her and a fatal heart condition. Fed up, Dan-oh decides to take control of her own story. Her determination only grows when she meets another extra student number 13 from Saoli High School, and the two experience a forbidden romance. The drama, based on the webtoon July Found by Chance by Moo Ryu-yi, is creative in putting the protagonist, who initially seemed like a supporting character, at the center of the narrative, discovering that her life was almost scripted and deciding to take control of her own story. The chemistry between the main characters, especially Haru and Dan-oh, is intense and engaging. Beyond the romance, the drama brings reflections on choices, destiny, and self-knowledge, making viewers get emotional and think along with the characters. The ending is happy and satisfying, leaving you missing it with a sweet aftertaste, proving that the drama manages to be fun, thrilling, and captivating from beginning to end. 3. A Good Day to Be a Dog. Han Hye-na may look like an ordinary teacher, but she suffers from a rather unusual curse. If she kisses a man, she's doomed to turn into a dog. The only way to break the curse is to have the same man kiss her again while she's in canine form. Although she believes and hopes that her beloved crush, Lee Bo-gyeom, is the person to break the curse, it's Jin Seo-won she ends up kissing by mistake. The only problem now is that Jin is deathly afraid of dogs, and Han Hai will have the mission of winning him over and stealing a kiss if she doesn't want to spend the rest of her life as a dog. This romantic comedy drama is great for passing time, with a fun concept that mixes fantasy, romance, comedy, and a historical touch even though it's set in modern times. The dynamic of the protagonist transforming into a dog after a kiss gave it a really fun touch of originality, and each kiss is worth watching. I have to say, it makes you jealous. 2. The First Night with the Duke. One day, a college student's soul is transported into the body of Cha Sun-chek, a supporting character in her favorite romance web novel. While trying to adapt, Sun-chek ends up getting drunk and meets Yi Byeon, the beautiful and cold Prince Gyeong-seong, who is the story's protagonist. The two apparently spend the night together, and the next morning, Yi Byeon insists they must get married. Alarmed, Sun-chek tries to get Yi Byeon interested in the protagonist Cho Eun-ae again, but he won't be swayed, altering the original plot. Now, Sun-chek must decide between taking on a life in this new world or giving up life with a prince to restore the story to what it was before. This series was adapted from the online comic The First Night with the Duke by Hwang Do-tol. Rated 9.5, it's a perfect, silly romantic comedy to pass the time. And I must warn you, this drama has cliches galore. 1. What's wrong with Secretary Kim? Thanks to the tireless efforts of the incredibly talented Secretary Kim Mi, Lee Yong-jun became the hotshot and arrogant vice president of his family's company. With her by his side for the past 9 years, Yong-jun managed to pass himself off and convince himself that he was really a big deal. However, it's only when Mi-so suddenly decides to resign that he realizes her importance to him and his career. With growing jealousy over the relationship between her and his older brother, Lee Seong-yeon, Yong-jun decides it's time to win back his secretary at all costs. Based on the novel What's Wrong with Secretary Kim by Young Kyung-yoon, this 2018 South Korean romantic comedy series was and still is acclaimed today as one of the best K-dramas of all time, not to mention the breathtaking kisses and performances. Simply a must-watch recommendation to add to your list. And we've reached the end of our list of top 30 romance K-dramas adapted from Webtoons. I hope you've discovered new favorites or remembered ones you love. If you've watched any of these, tell us in the comments which is your favorite, and if you're curious to watch any, take the opportunity to add it to your binge watch list. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos about K-dramas, Webtoons, and everything that makes our hearts beat faster. Until next time, and happy binge watching.